Okay, in the previous couple of videos, we saw that we can define a function that accumulates the length of a curve starting at a. And this function is defined as the arc length function, and it's the integral from a to t of the magnitude of r prime of u du. We used the fundamental theorem of calculus part 1 to take the derivative of this function with respect to t and obtained the arc length differential. So we obtained that ds dt is the magnitude of r prime of t, and multiplying both sides by the differential dt, we get what we call the arc length differential ds. Now, what happens when that magnitude of r prime of t equals 1? In other words, the rate of change of our vector function is equal to 1. Actually, something really useful and interesting happens. In our differential, if the magnitude of r prime of t is 1, you can see that ds equals dt. Okay, what does that mean? Well, we're dealing with infinitesimal quantities. We can also see that from here, that s will be equal to t, whether it's infinitesimal or not. So let's see. I'm going to go back to that arc length function, defined as s of t equals, and I'm going to, instead of a, I'm going to go from 0 to t, magnitude of r prime of t dt. And now we're assuming that this magnitude of the derivative is 1. So we have integral from 0 to t of 1 dt. Sorry, du. This really, I should be using u's because t is now our independent variable in the upper limit of integration, so I apologize for that. I always do this. So this becomes t. We're integrating from 0 to t. Sorry, u, integrating from 0 to t. And that just gives us t. So that means that s equals t. When the magnitude is 1, we have parametrized by arc length. So our function r of t is parametrized by its arc length. T equals s, the arc length. So r of t and r of s are the same thing, right? So we say that when that derivative is 1, the magnitude of the derivative is 1, the vector function has been parametrized by its arc length because s equals t. Now, what does this mean? Well, let's go back to Calc 2 for a moment. And imagine that we are traveling, we have a velocity of 1 mile per minute. I'm driving my car at 1 mile per minute. My velocity, the magnitude of my velocity or my speed is 1. How far do I travel in 5 minutes? Well, here's a very easy graph where the speed or the magnitude of my velocity is 1. I'm going 1 mile per minute. If I travel 3 minutes, then I know that I have traveled 3 miles. So if this is 3 minutes, in 3 minutes, since I'm going 1 mile per minute, I travel 3 miles. In 5 minutes, I would travel 5 miles. So I'm going to write that down. In 5 minutes, I travel 5 miles. So that means the distance that I'm traveling equals the time over which I'm traveling at a rate of 1 mile per minute. Distance equals time, because if I'm always traveling at 1 mile per minute and I go 10 minutes, then I've traveled 10 miles. 30 minutes, I've traveled 30 miles. That's what we mean by what we just did above, that when the magnitude of r prime is 1, the length of the curve equals that parameter t. So if we are going along our curve, right, here's my curve, and I go from here to here, and that's the distance that I've traveled, well, that's also the length of my parameter t. T and s are equal to each other. So it's like I'm walking along the curve, right? So if the magnitude of r prime equals 1, each unit traveled along the curve is equivalent to a t unit. So this allows us to walk along the curve. That's actually very useful, and we're going to learn how we can reparametrize our curves so that they're parametrized by arc length, so that t is the same as s.